if you've ever tuned into ESPN's college football coverage and thought, there might be an axis of bias tilting towards the SEC. I think most people feel that way, and frankly, it makes sense. They lost the Big Ten, now they have the SEC. I mean, what are you doing? A lot of us think that way, but now one of the network's top voices and friend of the show, the great Kirk Herbstreit, well, he's taken aim at those accusations with no shortage of absolutely Kirk Herbstreit fire, and I like it every time ESPN makes a questionable move reporting on the league or one of their college football analysts goes to bat for one of their 3-loss teams over a college football playoff, which ESPN also owns the rights to. The bias charge comes with it. Guy makes a thing like Sark did. Hey, 3-loss SEC team should be in. Well, if an analyst does that on ESPN, he's biased. I don't know if it's fair or foul. The company has very vocal detractors. Sure they do over the years, eager to call them out for perceived bias. Fox's Joe Klatt and our CBS Sports' Danny Cannell, they come to mind. As the face of ESPN's college football coverage, Herbstreit is often the one to face the brunt of the bias claims. He's vigorously defending himself, Game Day and ESPN, from the charges over the years to little avail. Whatever ground he usually gains is lost as soon as he and his cohorts start wailing on non-SEC schools in a way that benefits that conference. I think it's unfair, but I think, and I get why people do it. Following a controversial play in the Florida-Georgia game in which SEC officials upheld an incompletion upon review of a Gators pass attempt, Cannell, a Florida State alum, cried foul, floated the theory that the league and ESPN by proxy needed Georgia to win, and therefore fix the call. Boy, that's a hell of an accusation. I love Danny Cannell. Good for him. Hey, I've thought that many times while I was a broadcaster. I said it, and people would get mad. Look, Florida, Georgia is a different deal, but for referees, understand this, they're paid more when they work in the Big Ten than they are in the MAC. When Bowling Green, a MAC school, plays Purdue, a Big Ten school, who the hell do you think they're going to favor with calls? What are you doing? Anyway, that's just one of the many examples that I could give you of why people feel like there is a bias one way or the other. The Georgia-Florida bias makes sense. You need Georgia in, Florida's out. There you go. Who are you going to put in? Memphis, please. Anyway, Herbie went on with Russillo saying ESPN does not have a bias. Here he is.
Let me ask you this. The coaches do a poll. The AP does a poll. The CFP rankings do a poll. They all must be guilty of SEC biased. The coaches as well, because the coaches put. So basically, if you're objective, I went to Ohio State. I was a captain at Ohio State. You don't think I want to promote the Big Ten? You think it makes me happy to sit there and promote good teams? I would love the SEC to have 3 teams in the top 25 and the Big Ten to have 8. That would make me happy. But you go by what you watch, and the coaches who are actually competing on the field, they're putting the SEC. So, and the NFL in April, when they draft these players, the SEC, it's why is this a thing? Like, why do people think it's a thing? It's such bullshit. No, it's called watching football. That's what you do.
He's exactly right. Herbie's not wrong about that. He's exactly right. Look, there may be some guys out there that favor a league, but Herbie ain't one. There may be some executives out there that want Georgia to get in. Of course you want the best teams, the highest profile programs to get in. But Herbie ain't one. And he does, though, however, with that big salary and being on TV all the time, he does face the brunt of it. And good for him for standing up in a very direct way. He didn't passive-aggressive it. He didn't J-Will it, where he says, well, I find it interesting. No, he just simply said it's bullshit. And that's something I can get behind. Do I believe there is a bias among announcers? Not really. Do I believe there's a bias among officials? No, we already addressed it. I think there's a stupid among officials. But inside, up in the 4th building of ESPN, do they want to see somebody win? Probably. But I don't think that gets to Herbie. I think Herbie just calls the game. I think most do as well.